Okay, so here we go.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
And now, Shooting the Shit with Dave and Ellen.
Hey everybody,
How you doing?
it's a brand new episode of Shooting the Shit with
Dave?
and Ellen, and it's episode 31, but it'll always be number 2 to us, our favorite number.
Always our favorite number.
And we have a very, very special guest today, who's actually our first guest that isn't in person. We have him on a phone, and so we're not going to be able to see his wonderful facial expressions when we ask him crazy questions about poop, but at least we could hear him giggle about it. It's Lawrence from Pure for Men. Say hi, Lawrence.
Hello.
Hey, welcome to the show, and thanks again for doing this.
Thank you. I'm digging the intro.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah, it's a friend of ours who's a accomplished session drummer.
Yeah,
Who wrote
he
that song for
tours
us.
the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What's his name?
Jordan Perlson.
Oh my God.
And he lives in Nashville.
Yeah, he's got talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
It's a really good
he's a
one.
very funny guy. But again, thanks for being on the show. And
Yeah, where
Yeah.
are you right now, Lawrence?
I am in the mountains of Fort Davis, towards the west side of Texas, like about 2 hours east of El Paso.
Wow.
Okay, wow.
Don't you love technology? I love that we can record a podcast with somebody in thousands of miles away. It's so
Yeah,
cool.
it's pretty spectacular. And just a few years ago, this wouldn't even be possible. They put up one of the first compatible cell phone towers out here for my
oh
number.
wow,
So you
Wow.
guys are perfect timing all around.
no, this is great. It's all about the timing.
Modern technology. But surprisingly, this podcast has nothing to do with technology. It only has to do with poo. And the one thing we do before we actually get into our guest is we talk about our check-in. So Lawrence, we always check in with our guests first. How have your poos been recently?
So as the founder and president of Pure for Men, I must say I'm using the new version of the product. It's not even on the market yet.
Ooh.
So I don't actually go to the restroom anymore.
Wait, what does that mean?
I'm totally playing with you
Yeah,
guys.
I was like, my jaw just dropped. I'm like, wait, what?
I was like, you have now changed our podcast.
Yeah. These blew my mind.
No, wait. So the question was how my poop is doing?
Yeah. Did you poo today? How do you poo normal? Do you know about the
Yeah.
Bristol stool chart? Do you know where you are on the Bristol stool chart?
I know about the chart. I think from the top of my head, it's like a 4 or 5. It's like,
Ooh.
yeah, I'm like typically pretty healthy because I stay very, very consistent with my fiber intake, and I try to watch what I eat. But today, it was nice and breezy. I go at the same time every day.
Oh.
I think around like right at sunrise, I'm up and out. And
Excellent.
yeah,
That's
no complaints
perfect.
as of late.
We love hearing about the nice, healthy ones.
Yeah.
Those days of the 1s to the 3s are just I don't even remember those anymore.
Well, thank God for your product to keep
Yeah,
you
I mean,
regular.
yeah.
I mean, Ellen, we've been using it like crazy, to be honest with you, and it's great.
Yeah, you guys
Oh,
sent
yeah?
us
What do
some
you think?
samples, and we are huge fans.
It's been
Good.
like my wife just started using it the other day. She's like really into it now. It's a
All
fantastic product. So,
Yeah.
congratulations.
That's heartwarming to hear. We are all our first customers, so we've been hooked since 2007. So
Oh, wow.
to hear other people using it and having the same or similar results it's always really good.
I mean, the care package you sent was so just spectacular
And generous.
And I gotta say, I love the deodorant.
Oh my God, all
Oh,
of
yeah?
your
The
products.
deodorant was one of my favorite things because I always have an issue with like finding something that's not like super toxic or that but also works, and that's been
Yeah.
one of the best ones I've used so far. So
Oh yeah,
And I'm-
so I think you're talking about the Stay Ready bar. It's kind of one of those duo products where it's a great soap. It has moisturizing properties, but it also deodorizes. You also may be talking about the cream.
yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. Yes,
Okay.
that is
Okay.
fantastic. I love it. And I've tried the other like sort of spreadable cream type deodorants, but that one so far is my fave, and it smells amazing.
Oh, well, thank you. So, we originally came out with the fiber product, and our angle was we wanted to be kind of like, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, like Metamucil on steroids. It has a lot of different ingredients, but one of the other great qualities is that the capsules that we use are 100% vegan, and because of the success of that product, every single thing that we brought out into the market after that has been all natural. We use very good ingredients. So even though the bar and the cream are not fiber products, they kind of fit into that same umbrella of it should at least look, smell, taste, if you're tasting it, good, and be very good for your body. So any good feedback we get is always welcome. So much appreciated.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan.
I actually want to talk about taking Pure for her because I took some the other day because I was having a little constipation problem because I forgot to take it for a couple days in a row. And I was like, I don't want to be constipated. And it was like one of those days where I was working out and I was exercising and I just felt like I had a tire of poo in my tummy. And I took 3 Pure for Men at lunch. And by the next day, I had 3 beautiful Bristol 4s just coming out of me, and I was like, this shit really works. Pure for Men works, or Pure for Her. I took the ladies brand, but because we split it up, I gave the Pure for Men to Dave, and I took the Pure for Her. But it works super, super well, and I'm feeling great these days.
No, it does work great.
That is a good readout. That's a good readout. And I guess that's one of those. This was not intended by the product, but you're right. If you are taking it daily, and then let's say you go on a trip or something, or forget to take it for a couple of days, you will immediately notice the difference. And I won't go into detail too much about our numbers, but we found that the majority of our customers are just repeats. I mean, it's been such a blessing to see how quickly people who buy it the first time come right around and get it the second time, to the point where we had to even come out with smaller travel size compatible bottles.
Oh, nice. That's excellent.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, you definitely got 2 new users.
All right.
We are completely on board.
Care package, all this good stuff y'all are saying.
Oh, it's so good.
And I just went through my check-in. What about you, Dave? How have your booze been?
Mine have been not these amazing number 4s you guys are having. I mean, it's not like, I think I just had a couple of days where I wasn't eating that well. I mean, it wasn't bad or anything. I would say somewhere in the 5s to like going into the 6 realm.
Yeah, but that's typical of you.
Yeah. So there wasn't, well, I'll get back to that 4.
Typical Dave.
Yeah, exactly. I'll get back to that 4 someday.
But
man, well, I have a question. So when you're when you kind of have those days with the best year of a diet, do you take more Pure?
Yeah, when I'm feeling like this, that's not really the solid kind of like firm, nice Duke, if you will. Yeah, I've been taking the Pure since we got it, and that's been helping. So
because it's kind of like more. It's not. I was thinking it's not just like taking Smooth Move tea, where all of a sudden you get like explosive diarrhea, but it almost seems to like bind the poo together. Like it's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there's 2 different types of fiber in it. You've got your soluble fiber and your insoluble fiber. Now, soluble fiber will probably be more recognizable as your standard fiber supplement. Mm-hmm. It's what does give bulk to your movement, so that it all comes out nice and firm together. The insoluble fiber that's in Pure for Men and Pure for Her, it has more of a scrubbing action. So when it's going through, it's getting anything left along the track that didn't get sent through. And so those 2 together will typically deliver a firmer but still soft movement without too much, if any, debris at all. If you were taking like 2 to 3 capsules once a day, and maybe 4 when you've been eating a little bit more, the good news is that as long as you have enough water in your diet with each serving, you can take more. And there are nights when if I go to a chili fest or something,
Yeah.
something that I knew
Yeah.
is not going to be very well the next day, I'll double up and bam, I'm still hitting 4. So by all means, stay hydrated and feel free to take more. The Pure for Her supplement has smaller capsules. They don't have quite as much fiber, which is okay with the serving size recommended for women. However, feel free. You can take some more. Just stay hydrated, and you should be good to go.
Oh, good to know. That was one of our questions, was what was the difference between Pure for Her and Pure for Him? And I'm guessing it's just smaller.
Yeah, smaller capsules. So when we first came out with Pure for Men, we did have a lot of female customers who liked the product, and then their feedback was they're like horse pills. And if you see the product, the male product they're pretty large because we're packing a lot of fiber in each capsule. But for the Her product, very quickly we knew we needed to make this capsule smaller. They stay vegan. Everything else is the same.
Yeah, because I looked at the ingredients and I was like, don't see a difference.
Yeah, but we weren't sure. But I guess
besides the packaging,
but the actual size, was a little.
Now
bit.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we actually added aloe to the Pure for Men product because of the success of the Pure for Her.
Oh,
interesting.
So it's been a really interesting endeavor because I had never ever once considered a lot of the changes that we've gone through from launch, because as we've opened up, the market a little bit more and started, responding to feedback from other types of customers, it's really made the core product a lot better, as well as the offering of all of the other things that we come out with.
Oh, cool.
So it's again, we can't stop raving about it. It's been like, all the products.
Between our Pure and our Tushy, we're like good to go.
We're covered.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so can we talk about the Tushy for a second?
Please.
Yeah, we know that we're all going to be at ButtCon next week. I don't know if you're physically going to be there, but I know your product is endorsing ButtCon.
Yes, in one way or another, I will be there, but I think the team will definitely be on site. That Tushy thing. So I had seen those commercials, and I have never, prior to maybe 2 years ago, never seen or used a bidet before. And we went on this trip to Tokyo, and I was blown away. Like, just the concept of, when you're on the pod, everything gets clean. That was really, really cool. But the toilet that I sat on was super expensive. So there was no way I was going to make that happen at home.
Oh, yeah, the Toto.
Yeah, that's
I think
crazy
yes.
Yeah, we always talk about how, like, when we both all become like billionaires, we'll all have Totos, but in the meantime, we have the Tushy. So,
boom, there you go, and that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what it's bridged the gap, and and I'm not a plumber, so the fact that I got that thing installed is a miracle itself. So.
Yeah, no, it took me 10 minutes. I couldn't believe it. I almost didn't believe that it was working at one point because I did it. I was shocked.
Well, so when yours sprays. Like, if you can visualize where you put your knob, is that thing where the arrow is up and down? Do you have it all the way down?
I move it because my boyfriend also moves it, so he uses it. So we're constantly moving it around.
I'm surprised that my wife and I haven't even. We keep it in the same spot.
Oh, you do?
So maybe she adjusts a little bit, but so far, it took me a minute to find that sweet spot. But now I'm afraid, because I got a new one, because the first version we have has this sort of rubber intake hose, and we did an interview with Ellen's plumber actually, and he suggested I get the new version because it's got a braided hose. And the plastic ones, just a little FYI for anybody out there, the plastic ones eventually sort of pop off and flood your whole apartment or house.
But the metal braided is
the metal braided is the way to go.
Yeah. I need to get the new.
I know.
No. You probably have the
version 1.0.
You might. Is this
you have the older one?
I must, because mine is not braided, and it's just like a little plastic tube.
Yeah. That's what I have.
Yeah.
I just got mine the other day, and I haven't installed it yet, but. His sort of synopsis was like, it's just gonna, at some point it's gonna happen. It's not a matter of when. It's like, just when.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I love that product. It's
pretty
fantastic.
much have gone really into theme with the Pure for Men. But if there anything, Lawrence, on how you want to introduce yourself, or our very first question for you was, how did you come up with this product?
So my name is Lawrence Johnson. I am one of the 3 founders and owners of Pure for Men. I am born and raised in Houston, lived in Austin, and now Austin and West Texas out here in Fort Davis. And Pure for Men has been a waking dream for myself and everyone close to me and connected with the company. It started off out in, I think, 2007. So, I've always been kind of an entrepreneurial spirit. My mom raised me and my sister with, I think, daily, where if she was tired about going to work or didn't want to do it, she would tell us, like, y'all need to start your own company. So, no one can tell you when to go in.
Exactly.
And, and if you mess up, it's on you, and, there's no back and forth about it. And so that always stuck in my head. And when I was in college, this was shortly after I came out of the closet, my number one question was, how are all of these other gay men having anal sex with no issues? Like, I was just blown away, because I would just, you look at a video, and this is back in the dial-up days, so
oh my god. Oh yeah.
It wasn't that diverse of a set of videos, but one thing they all had in common, it was just like, from car shop to the bed with no issues. And I'm thinking, like, there's got to be some magic. And I remember going online and reading all these different tips and advice, and someone was like, yeah, you need to use like a fiber supplement, it'll help with that. And so shortly after, I got it, and I was like, okay, this is the real deal. It does get the job for the most part done. And then I wanted to just make it better. Like, I wanted to make a supplement where, and at that point, I didn't know anything about the industry, anything about e-commerce. So I was just kind of looking at basics, like, how do we get more fiber in the pill? I have a lot of friends who were vegetarian, and one of the things they pointed out about a lot of the supplements, not just fiber supplements, is that, when they say that it has gelatin in the capsule, that is, it's not like Jell-O, or I guess.
Yeah, no, that's, yeah.
those are
crushed
animal
horse.
parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, there's an opportunity. And then I also saw that a lot of the companies who were marketing Metamucil were completely ignoring what I saw as like a huge market. I mean, if you thought fiber supplements, you'd be thinking, like Metamucil or something that you would take before you're going in for a colonoscopy or going in.
But also Metamucil, I feel like, is more geared towards like an older crowd too. Like young people aren't supposed to be talking about their fiber intake.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, who was talking about fiber in 2007?
Nobody. Yeah. Well, no one above the age of like 60 something.
Everybody in the retirement community was, but that's about it.
Yeah. Like, why wait till your golden years to have some golden visits in the restroom? So
exactly.
Agreed.
We came out with the product and had a little launch party in our college housing, and had these little you cut these plastic things up and you staple them together and you put some capsules in them, and we didn't sell anything. Like, I built this web page, and I was like, okay, we're done, we're about to be rich, let's go ahead and get it rolling. And I think in a span of 3 months, like, one bottle was sold. Of course, again, I didn't know anything about marketing, and I kind of figured, like, if you build it, they will come. It didn't work out, and so just literally canned the whole project. Well, a few years later, we were working on another project, another product, another company, and we were in this accelerator in Houston called Start Houston, or was that the name of the accelerator? I think it was like Ignition, HTC Ignition, and so we were trying to get this other company off the ground. The name of the company was Hurl. It was it was the kind of platform you go to a bar, you could take out your phone and like hurl your favorite YouTube video to like their TV screen. And then if let's say Ellen was there with you and she was like, oh, well, that reminds me of this video, I want you to see that. She would launch Hurl on her phone, and it didn't matter if she's on an iPhone, an Android, or a Windows phone back in the day. And she would hurl it, and it would go into the queue like a jukebox. And if people there didn't like what Dave was playing, we could all vote it out on the app.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's actually pretty cool app.
Really cool. Great idea, but it didn't make any money either. And while we were trying to get this off the ground, everything we were learning about launching a company or what's called a lean startup, it was impossible to figure out a revenue stream for Hurl. It was super cool. People loved it and they used it, but it wasn't enough of a pain for the patrons of the bar, et cetera, to start paying money for it.
Gotcha.
So, but the whole time in the back of our minds, we were like, remember that Pure for Men product? Like that we still use it. We have all them bottles. Like, and now we know all these things that we had no idea about. Let's give it another go. And sure enough, we launched that bad boy in, like, I think it was 2012. My business partners, Fabian and Naaman, so they each brought a little something to it. And what's really cool is that we were all very, very close friends regardless. So Naaman's skill, his like superpower was he could go on a computer and just make anything amazing, like out of nothing. So he gave us a lot of he made our brand look like it was already 20 years in the making with the stuff he was picking up in the early commercials and whatnot. And then Fabian, he's a marketing exec, and he was like, oh my God, you don't even know about Facebook, you don't know about this, let me show you how to do this, boom, boom, boom. And next thing you know, it was like a faucet. We would turn on the Facebook ads and people would see what was obviously a major problem. No one who is, having intimate moments wants any accident, so anything that lessens or eliminates that worry would be a huge hit. And it sure was. Like, you turn on the ads and then the orders would start flowing in.
Really? That's amazing.
We would take a shot every single time an order would come through, and eventually it was like, we can't even do it anymore because it's doing its thing. So that's awesome. The story.
That's incredible.
Congrats.
I love that you went back to it. I'm glad you didn't abandon it. I mean, clearly, but that's amazing. So you basically started in college, and then
yes.
That's so cool. I love hearing stories like that.
I love I do love your marketing slogans, and Dave and I are both heterosexual people, but I have a lot of gay guy friends, and one of them I was showing your product to, and he was like, take it now, take it later. That's hilarious. And I was like, I didn't even put two and two together, because I was like, yeah, you could take one in the morning and take one at night.
Yes, and the same thing.
And the way that my gay guy friend explained it to me, he didn't even have to explain, he just giggled, and I was like, oh my God, how did I miss that?
Yeah, really smart.
Yeah.
Well, you dropped a really funny one earlier. I think you said, this shit works.
Yeah.
So, look, you got 5 days to trademark that. It's going to be in an ad.
Yeah, please.
Well, we always call products that we do on the podcast, we call it approved. So Pure for Men most definitely is approved for our podcast.
Top rated for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, we love it.
And what are your usual responses from your clients? Like, have you obviously have had certain things that have made you improve your product, but like and you have repeat customers, but are they like customers who are like, holy shit, I can't believe I lived without this? Or like, what are some of the responses you get?
Well, first, there's another one. Holy shit, I like that. So the best way to answer that, I would say Amazon product reviews. We prided ourselves on not doing any paid reviews. So we use what people say on Amazon as our frontline feedback, in addition to the customer service inquiries. Interestingly enough, over all of the years, comments and feedback has been, for the most part, the same. So number one, customers are blown away that it works. I mean, sometimes it works sooner than they expected, and sometimes it takes a little longer.
Yeah.
And so we're typically letting people know that depending on your diet, and if you have a good amount of fiber, if your body is used to it, you might take it today and you might be good to go for noon tomorrow or 7 o'clock tomorrow p.m. But if you haven't had a lot of fiber in your diet, your body's not used to it, then it may take 2 or 3 days for your body to get acclimated. When we first came out with the product, our recommendation was take 2 to 3 capsules twice a day with water. And then we started getting a lot of customers who were like, wait a minute, like, I'm taking it, I'm feeling bloated, I'm getting cramps. And it's like, well, did you drink any water? Like, I mean, I drank like half a glass all day.
Oh yeah,
and so you're like, well, that's going to cause. I'm surprised you didn't even go to the restroom, because that will cause constipation. The product expands, and so the once that water hits it, or once it kind of gets to your system, if you don't have enough hydration, it's a wrap.
Right.
But in addition to that, some customers are curious more so around how it will work for them when it comes to sex. So we're usually giving them, tips and advice around timing, and but very, very seldomly do we have any customers who the product just didn't work for. It's more trying to calibrate. Okay, you need to take this number of capsules per day. Like we have a lot of people who bodybuild and they work out, and it's just one of many supplements that they take. So in terms of effectiveness, we found if you have a high protein diet, that is really going to make a mess.
Oh, 100%.
Complete, yeah.
We've
Can
learned
imagine.
that from a bunch of people.
Yeah.
We had,
Oh, really?
we had one of our guests was Chris Harder, is a gay porn star and friend of ours, and he was telling us, because he does a lot of protein, and he's had to get ready for scenes and all the enemas and stuff that he's done beforehand, and I'm like, that must be so intense on your body, like just the enemas alone, not the sex part.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
The whole
but
prep.
what is your advice for people if they are having sex, if they're having it, what's if I have a date tomorrow night, what's the best time to take Pure?
It is all very, very unique to the person taking the supplement, because no two bodies and no two digestive systems are the same. I take all my Pure in the morning at one time, and it's just going to sound really weird, but I take the equivalent of about 9 to 12 capsules.
Oh, wow.
That is, I don't recommend anyone else does that. It will not do anything extra for you in the bed. I'm addicted to fiber, so I take it, and that's my amount.
But you also said that you're making your morning poo right when you wake up, so it's taking a good 24 hours for it to kick in, and you're taking a lot, but you'll know, and then you're drinking a lot of water through the day, obviously. And
exactly.
So
and that's the rhythm. You have to know your body, whether it's for sex or just general hygiene. You really have to figure out, okay, I can't eat this or I can't eat that, or I'm going to take 4 capsules because I know that by 11 o'clock tonight I'll be good to go. But for the most part, people can get away. If I was gonna recommend someone who is gonna have sex on what's today? Wednesday?
Wednesday, yes.
Wednesday. So if someone was going to have a little date or something on Friday, I would say, okay, go ahead and start taking it now. If you haven't used the product, start with maybe 1 or 2 capsules a day, double up the next day, continue drinking plenty of water, and then see what times you go to the restroom. And when you have plenty of fiber in your diet, I'm not sure if you guys have talked about this term, but you have these ghost wipes where you go to the restroom and nothing comes out on the toilet paper.
Yep.
Yeah, we call it no push, no wipe, meaning when you have that perfect Bristol 4, you don't even really have to push it out, and when you wipe, there's nothing there. So it's the way an animal goes to the bathroom. Most dogs and cats don't have to wipe. Animal in the woods doesn't have to wipe. Because they're eating what's right for their diet to make sure that they stay healthy. Us humans, we put so much garbage into
on a daily basis.
into our food and mouths. So we wonder why we're pooping out literal garbage. But
that's exactly the point. I mean, you have to supplement our diets with something a little bit healthier.
Completely.
But after you have that ghost wipe, or you said no push, no wipe.
Yes, that's our slogan. We actually have T-shirts made for next week's ButtCon, so you'll see them.
Well, that's the indicator of you are ready to go, and that is, there's nothing more amazing than having a no push, no wipe, and you're you honestly don't even. People in the past would use an enema for just getting everything out, but nowadays, especially with a product like ours, it's more of a litmus test, or what do they call it? A dipstick. You're just checking to make sure everything's coming out clear. And back in the day, it might be 30 minutes to an hour trying to get ready before playtime, and now it's we're talking just a couple to 5 minutes.
Yes, it's amazing. I mean, also I think what you said, echoing back what you mentioned, it seems to be a lot about the hydration. Making sure you're taking plenty of water, which most people don't do.
Yeah.
The amount of friends I have that don't drink water, it's kind of shocking.
It's crazy. When we had a nutritionalist on a couple episodes ago, and she basically said that you should be drinking whatever your weight is, divide that in half, and that's the amount of ounces of water you should drink a day. So I weigh 150, so divide that in half is 75. So I should be drinking 75 ounces of water a day. And that's a lot of water, but once you know that, you just you got to keep up with it,
You sure do. There's so many factors to a movement. Your hydration, what you're eating. But lately, I've been learning a lot about how big of a part stress plays on your movements. And your
100%. We talk about that all the time. That I think your anxiety and stress is totally all in your gut, and things like that can totally happen.
Oh yes. Well,
It's all tied
if you
together.
want to go on the fringe, I'll tell you about a conversation I had with somebody who told me that they have conscious control over their digestive system, right down to the lower intestine.
Who is this magical person?
I'm not gonna put their name on the record. No,
It's
I'm
a
not
friend.
sure if all the information, but
Tell them if they want to be on our podcast, or at least write us in. We want to know detail.
no, y'all are not ready for it. I'm telling you, like, this is. I think I should consider this R&D, because I was telling myself, I was like, well, then that means you might be our number one competitor, and you're a free product. So we might even wipe this from the interview.
Just bleep that out.
Wait, they have a product that helps them do this?
No,
Oh.
they just. It's like, okay, this
It's
is
mind
this
over
is as
matter.
far as
Yeah.
I can tell you how it works. I don't know all the details, but supposedly you you maintain a calm awareness. People call it mindfulness, where you're not really thinking so many thoughts. You're just feeling your inner body. You're feeling your heart rate, your breathing, and you get to this level of awareness whereby it's not so much like you're working your intestines like a muscle, but your body is kind of doing more of a natural contraction, more of a natural flow. And so if you just sit on the toilet long enough, you're not trying to squeeze, you're just freeing yourself inside and out, and sure enough, bloop, you'll have a movement.
Oh my God.
That's the supposedness of it all.
Okay.
I am really jealous of this person, because I don't think that that's ever been.
Yeah, that's never happened with me.
I've sat on the
Well, it
toilet
happened to
feeling
me.
like I had to go, and nothing will come out.
Unverified claim.
Right.
Until then, y'all keep using your Pure for Men.
Yeah. Yeah, that's proven.
So fun. And with all the care package that you guys sent us, you also sent us the Pure for Men wipes, and we were curious to why. We like that they're black, but we were curious to why you picked them to be black, because every wipe we've ever seen has always been white. So is there a certain marketing into having a black wipe?
Well, so it was kind of a coincidence, and I don't remember which ingredient it was. I want to say it's the micellar. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So there's actually one of the ingredients that forces the wipe to be black, and it's and you can probably see it's a thicker material.
Yeah.
And so we fell in love with it. It took us a while to kind of all agree to one that was the best combination of scent, texture, and look. And and I actually liked it a lot, because if you have, like, especially for anyone who's trying to prepare for some action, a white wipe would help, because you can see what's on. The contrast is a little bit better. But that our product is more so for customers who are already on the fiber supplement, and like I said, you're not really checking much, and it's more for the moisture, the cleanliness, and the scent than it is for really using it as toilet paper.
Yeah, you're not using it for like a cleanup situation. It's just more like
right. And then some things you don't want to see. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was curious, and I was asking my friend who has done gay porn. I was like, yeah, the wipes are black, and he goes, most gay guys don't want to look at the poo. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe it was done for that reason. I wasn't sure if it was for the charcoal in it, but we really were like impressed. We opened up and we were like, oh my God, they're black. This is so cool. Like, I've never seen a black wipe before.
Yeah.
Well, so that was the thing we do attempt, and I would say we're successful every single time. We've had some small product launches or ideas that we've tried to hash out that just didn't work. But when we do come out with something that is really new, we try to like innovate if we can, or sometimes we roll the dice on it. With Pure for Men, we saw that on Amazon. The number one purchased product along our product was a very popular brand of wipes. I'm not sure if I can say it. Well, yeah, Dude Wipes. I love Dude Wipes too. So, their packaging looks a lot like our bottle packaging, and this is total coincidence. Has nothing to do with any strategy. But so we're like, oh my God, like people are really buying this as a complementary product of Dude Wipes and vice versa. And then we started having customers message us asking questions about dude wipes because they thought that we were the same company.
Oh.
So we were like, okay, well then, let's come out with something, but let's see if we can, let's just not come in with something redundant or hey, buy ours instead. So, like you mentioned, the look, the texture, they're all very unique. And then the container, and I'm not sure if this was a huge hit or not, the jury's still out, but we put it in kind of like one of those bottles that you would typically use like leather wipes.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And, but then, the problem with that is it's sometimes hard to travel with. And then depending on how many you like to pull out at a time, it can be difficult. So we're still working on that. But as far as the wipe itself, once you get it out, I'm in love with it.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it works
really
great.
cool. And we, as Dave was saying, he liked the deodorant and the scrub. I actually, when we got the care package, we split everything up, and we were at Dave's place, so he put stuff into Tupperware, and I saved most of the original packaging. And I put the Pure for Men scrub and deodorant in my bathroom, and then an hour later, I was like, where the hell did that scrub go? And my boyfriend had taken it into the shower and used it. Mind you, I have all different kinds of like scrubs from like other places, and he's never used a scrub before, but your packaging was so enticing to him that he was like, I want to use this scrub. And I was like, I used it all over my body, and I was like, because it said for men, honey, you could use the lavender scrub. And he's like, no, I wanted to use this one. And I text Dave right away. So
Success.
That is a shout out to our marketing team. Then Fabian, Chris, and Ryan have they really have an eye for what looks good, and they work with a company based out of Houston for some of the more conceptual stuff. But we definitely wanted this to be a product that anyone would feel comfortable using, but maybe kind of toward a barrier down between like a man's man who just wouldn't use a product like that. I mean, did he like the results? Or did
he did. But I also told him, I was like, most of this products is used for your butthole. And he was like, well, I used it on my legs and my arms. And I was like, well, it does say it could use on your face too, so you could use it on your body, but I think it is.
Should have been like, let me smell your butt.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn around.
Find out.
Yeah, open them up.
But I then saw that the scrub is made from coconut sugar, which I even love more because you don't want real sugar up your butthole, and salt scrubs in your butthole would probably be awfully abrasive. So I just thought it was really interesting that your ingredients are so natural, but you put some thought in behind it.
Oh yeah, I mean, so with the health and beauty products, we thought it would be a really great idea, especially because who knows what some people do at home, and y'all will never know what I do at home. But we thought it would be really cool to have products that you can eat.
Oh yeah.
You went a little too crazy, it would be all right. And technically speaking, I wouldn't recommend using it as a spread on the sandwich or anything, but you can definitely eat it. And that just speaks to the natural makeup of the product. So thank you.
No, totally. But that makes sense because, I mean, we're not just sticking our genitals together. We're also putting our mouths on our genitals. So, of course, you would want something that tastes good, and it probably is not toxic for you to ingest. So,
if you think about most of the products that people use on their body, it's like so much chemicals like laden that you wouldn't ever think about. If you saw that like laying on a counter, you would be like, I need that in my body. But the fact that
there's no telling what's going to happen like in the year 2040 when all the products you've all been using that are not really founded on any natural values, we're going to be walking around with 4 eyeballs and 3 legs or something.
Completely.
But and that's what else I wanted to say. The really good thing about all of this from start on day one to now is I know that we market initially or primarily we market to gay men for the purpose of clean anal sex, but it does feel really good to know that we're not hurting anyone or the planet by having these products out. And it's short of what we probably need to do is coming out with recyclable bottles that you could send back. But in terms of what it does for the physical body, we feel like this kind of undercurrent of karma, because a lot of people, if you didn't say, hey, this is going to make anal sex worry-free would never incorporate a healthy amount of fiber into their diet. And over the long run, you're talking about really good implications. I have to put a star by it just for probably legal reasons, but you're talking about really good implications for, you know, things from cholesterol to just your general gut feeling like that. Yeah, I think we're really happy that a lot of people will ultimately potentially have better lives from using the product, even if it isn't the result of their primary goal for buying it.
Totally.
Agreed.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the way the buying culture is going anyway. I mean, most people want things that, you know, is good for your body, good for health, and longevity.
Yeah, and we're realizing that a lot of things that's toxic out there causes cancer and other like bad diseases. So of course we want to put good stuff into our body. So yeah.
Yeah. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Can we ask you some of our regular questions? Like, what kind of toilet paper do you use, and do you like over versus under?
Ooh, I wish I was picky about toilet paper because I could probably read out the brand. But let me see. Right now, I'm not gonna lie. I went to Dollar General and got like just a 4-pack because I am up here in the mountains. And
no judgments. No judgments.
When I'm at home, so when I was in high school, a friend of mine, his family's of the Muslim faith, and I was blown away to find out that in their household they did not. I mean, it's like either they're using a bidet or from toilet to tub. And I was like, oh my God, that would be really cool if I could just circumvent the toilet paper process. So every now and then I'll just get right off the toilet and jump in the tub and rinse it all out and be good to go. Or now with the Tushy, I'll use the toilet paper more so for it to dry off down there.
Yeah.
So I don't know the brand. I know it was cheap though.
Well, again, since you said like, you know, you're taking the product and you're using the Tushy, you probably doesn't even matter what kind of paper you're using.
Yeah, especially if you're a no push, no wipe.
Yeah, and it's just for drying, so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And do you like over versus under? If you do hang
definitely over. And if I'm OCD, so if I'm in a restroom that has it. Wait, are you talking about wiping under or over?
No, hanging the toilet paper.
Hanging the toilet paper.
Okay, I'm just making sure I was not going on no tangent for no reason. So yeah, it definitely over. It doesn't even make sense to me.
No, we've literally had this conversation with everybody. We had a whole episode dedicated straight to like debating this. I 100% agree with you, and I will go into other people's bathrooms and change it from under to over. But Dave is in the under camp, so.
Well, I'm in the under, but at this point now, I'm getting to the point where I just don't even care anymore. But people have a opinion about this question.
Yeah.
I mean,
some people have very strong opinions.
Yeah, they're really serious. I mean, 99% of the people we've interviewed in this podcast are over.
Good. That's good. And that means the movement is growing. That means, because there are people who from like 2008, 2010 that I don't even talk to anymore because of this conversation. And they know who they are, and they know what it's going to take for us. And it is what it is. You know, it's a country, it's a binary country we live in, right?
Yeah.
So either you are with us and you're rolling it right, or hey, we'll see you.
And when it comes to wiping, we all know it's front to back. Who are these crazy people who are going back to front? I mean, hello.
I'm trying to visualize. Hold on, let me right back to. Oh yeah. Well, so I mean, to be fair, because I, over many years I've like paid close attention to this, right? So if you wipe front to back, and then you wipe front to back again, and let's say the toilet paper's clean, right? If you wipe back to front, won't there be some stuff that you didn't pick up?
Maybe.
Because I now that I will do. I will start front to back, but I will hit that back to front real quick.
Just check it out.
Double check.
That's something you can straddle the fence with this one, because I say you just wipe that thing, wipe it down, and make sure it's good. You know, that's
Well, as a woman, I can never go back to front because I have something else in the way that I don't want doo-doo getting into. So
it's true.
I've heard about this with women. And I guess it makes sense. My heart goes out to you.
Oh, trust me. It should go out to me for many, many reasons. That whole vagina period thing is a pain in my ass.
Guys, we have like way less to deal with.
Yeah. And as the women, we have more toilet paper to use because we have to like we can't drip dry. Like we have a lot of things to sit down for. So
you got like a whole ecosystem.
Oh my God, it's heartbreaking to hear. But you know, there are some heavy pros that we can speak to. I think it's good to be a guy when it comes to restroom. It's usually good to be a guy when it comes to the bedroom. But let me tell you, if you were a fly on the wall with some conversations that have come up with me and my friends, you would be like, okay, they want to change teams because there are some strong pros that other ladies can enjoy.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Also, are you in a relationship, and how does your partner deal with you talking about poo? I mean, you're in the business of poo, but have you come across anybody in your life that's like, ooh, no, I don't want to talk about that?
No, I think amongst all of us, it's pretty
open,
normal to speak about. Now, as far as dating and partners, like one of the main reasons, because you got your bottoms and your tops and your versatile players in the bedroom. I would say I'm a strong top with versatile aspirations. But so when I first started having sex, I was more so worried about if I would have an accident. But once I kind of got my game moving and I was feeling myself and dating and stuff, it became like a pet peeve of mine. Now people will always tell you, hey, shit happens. Like you're
literally,
they're literally, and there is nothing you can do in some circumstances because the body will mess with you. But it was such a pet peeve of mine that I think it kind of invigorated our want to get word out about the product because, hey, if someone I'm dating is using it, it's a win-win for me as well. And then even if you're not bottoming, take the supplement and you'll just have a much better digestive lifestyle, period. But yeah, I mean, I can say that, and then in the same breath, I can tell you about some other friends who are they love the naturalness of it all. They love, like, I want to tell you, it's like the difference between going at it with somebody right after a game of like tennis, like when the sweat is just it's glistening, and it's a whole other thing to be like, okay, you played tennis 5 hours ago.
Oh yeah.
You have funk on top of funk. That's a different level. Same thing goes for down there. So I think to each their own. You'll find people who like something a bit more natural, and then some people who want that thing to be so clean that you would never even know it was used for anything else besides sex. So to each their own.
Yes.
Yeah. Agreed.
Agree. And what is your first memory of poop? Do you have any memory or farting as a kid? Like, do you remember?
Oh my God, yes. So I'll start from the back and go forward. Like my yes, I've been in situations where the joke of the day was to go to someone and say, hey, oh my God, do you hear that? They run off, right? And then my earliest memories of pooping are actually very dark because, and I don't know why, this is something I've been working through with mindfulness, but for some reason, when I was younger, I would typically go to the restroom a few hours after I got home from school. And for some reason, I would sit on the toilet as I was using the restroom, and all these negative feelings would just come up. It was like I would replay all of the embarrassing things that may have happened during the week or during the day. It was just like, for me, restroom visits were not the best of things. It wasn't until I think I hit puberty that that kind of went away. But yeah, that's why my earliest relationship with poop has been like this weird meditative state where I just replay bad things. Thank God that hasn't happened in a long time, but yeah.
Oh, interesting. And do you ever come up to having diarrhea or constipation anymore? Or is pure just totally like taking care of that for you?
For the most part, it's taken care of, but there are situations, and I couldn't put my finger on like what would have actually caused them. It may be stress. It may be. So in addition to pure for men, I'm kind of like a supplement lunatic. Like I have, I'll send you guys a picture. So I have this like little organizer, this like super pill organizer.
One of the like the weekly ones.
Yeah. Well, this one will take you 2 weeks.
Oh wow!
And
Oh, wow.
I have like no less than 10 little capsules and pills inside of it. I take everything from nootropics, supposedly helps you remember things and makes your brain a lot sharper. Which I do believe I have seen a market difference in my ability to remember. But things like multivitamins, and so I have these wild cards for each day, and I never know which one I'm going to get. So I may have some charcoal tablets in there. I may have another day. I may have a what is that thing called? The fish oil. And
fish oil is great.
So it could be one of them days I have just that combination of pills that just sends my digestive system crazy. I also take probiotics. I eat yogurt. Jamie Lee got me on that craze a few years ago. So who knows? But for the most part, it's steady and regular. But there are some times when you don't want to be anywhere near any restroom I'm anywhere near.
I also am on tons of supplements because I've talked about this on the podcast before. I have Lyme disease, and I'm taking all these things to help with my immune system. And I've noticed that certain supplements have fucked up my digestive tract. Others have, like, I take magnesium, and that really makes me go so yeah, I do know how you feel, and I have the day of the week, and I have my morning pills and my nighttime pills. But yeah, I know how you feel about that. And it's weird because I'll do the same thing every day for 5 days in a row, and then something will get mixed up, and it's like, what the hell just happened? So yeah.
Well, twinsies, that our digestive systems are keeping us on our feet. So grass
completely.
Knock on wood, I don't have that problem. I mean, I haven't had.
Well, you still have your toilet papers the wrong way.
Oh, okay.
Come on,
fair enough. Oh my god.
And our last question, unless you want to bring something else to the conversation, is our favorite question. If you do have to go really, really badly and there's absolutely no toilet in sight, do you poop in your pants or do you go somewhere on the ground?
Oh, definitely. Oh, wait, am I like in a public place? Like
you can literally pick the place. You could be in the middle of the woods, or you could be on the New York City subway, and it's a packed, crowded subway. But literally, you're having a Bristol number 7. It's coming out of you like hot lava. You do not have a choice.
My God. Okay, so have y'all seen that video of that lady? I think she was in
the Tim Hortons?
I don't know, but she was it was a security camera, and she had on like a little skirt, and so she played it off. She just like started walking.
I've seen that one.
Okay.
Yep.
I would probably try to do one of those numbers. I'd probably like try to shake it down a pant leg. You got to have a lot of faith in your movement too.
Oh yeah.
Like I already know I'm dropping 4s, right? So it's like you won't even know.
Right, gotcha.
No, you won't even know.
I like how confident.
Be sly about it.
Just keep, and if you keep moving, no one will be around long enough to know it was you. Come on.
We love that answer.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. Most people are floor people. Yeah. Well, most people are floor people, and we both agree. But there's situations where you might not have a chance, and we all would prefer not to go in our pants, but sometimes you just don't make it.
It's the advent of cell phones that record video that has ruined any kind of like privacy.
Accidents.
You can't do shit anymore without having somebody.
You're shit not.
Like you're just gonna wind up on you're a meme. You're on someone's like website. Completely unbeknownst to you.
You become an internet sensation.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's kind of publicity no one wants.
No.
Lawrence, is there anything else you want to talk about before we go into our next segment that's called Let's Get Shitty, where we complain about things, and you're welcome to complain with us, and it can be anything poop related, or it could be anything you want to complain about. But you want to talk about anything else about Pure or bring to the table?
No, y'all have talked about Pure so much. I couldn't be happier. I love the conversation, and I don't have much to complain about, but I'll offer an ear and maybe a mouth real quick if you guys start that segment.
Yeah,
sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for Let's Get Shitty.
Yes.
This is the part where we get to complain because this is a comedy podcast, so we've been having so much fun. But once in a while, we like to get shitty about things. So, Dave, do you have anything that you want to complain about?
Yes, and I think it is a little poop related.
Oh,
well, I mean, it's more like circumstantial. But the other day, God, when was this? I forgot to tell you about this, Ellen. But I went to go to the bathroom, do my thing. And it was early in the morning, so I wasn't really paying attention. And I go to use my tushy, no water's coming out. Then I go to nothing. And our building had turned off the water for I don't know, an hour to do some testing downstairs.
Oh.
And there was no notice from the building or anything.
Damn.
So it was just I was livid.
I would have been insanely pissed. Because then you're sitting there with poo in your toilet that can't even flush down.
It's super early in the morning. I'm not a morning person, and I'm just it's just not good. Ruin the rest of my morning.
Yeah. And especially you can't use your tushy.
I had to just sit there and wipe it off and then wait until the water went back on, which, it sucked.
Did you
nothing
had
worked.
some wet wipes at
I had
least?
some wet wipes. We had, I think I even used some of the, we might have had some water in a tushy, not a tushy, in a Brita.
Oh.
I just went just to double. I don't know. I just literally had to go rush around. I felt disgusting.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm
getting at.
The worst. Thank God it was only for an hour.
Yeah, it was maybe a little over an hour, but it was just kind of and I wasn't, in the morning, you're just not really paying attention. You just kind of do your thing. You sit down, and then nothing.
Oh, and we live in New York City where it's huge apartment buildings. So to shut the water off for you have many units here.
It's a big deal, yeah.
Yeah, that's a pain in the butt.
I don't know when they turned it off, but it was early. I mean, this was when I said it was around 6:45 in the morning.
No.
6:45, something like
I'd
that.
be pissed.
Yeah, I was livid.
Oh. My Let's Get Shitty kind of ties in for Pure for Men. So I'm not shitting on Pure for Men, but it only ties into the fact that I worked out a couple days ago, and I talked about this in my check-in, and I was so constipated that it's hard to do ab exercises when you're constipated. You could feel the poo pushing on the other side of your
a dangerous situation you're in.
And I just felt, and I actually took this class at Body and Pole, which is this really sexy studio where you do pole dancing. And the class I took was liquid motion, so everybody's in high heels and thongs. Yeah, and my liquid motion was not happening. And so my Let's Get Shitty is the fact that I hate my body when it's constipated, but I hate it even more when you're trying to be sexy and do exercises and ab stuff. And I felt so disgusting. And that's when I went home, ate lunch, and popped 3 Pure for Men, and it cured me. So,
oh, hallelujah!
Yes.
That. And my heart breaks for yours. And that situation is not one. I mean, being in the middle of an ab crunch while constipated.
Yeah, you can't have poo pushing one side where you're trying to pull in your abs from the other.
It's like a fight.
Yeah, it's pure evil.
We're about to drop. Shameless plug here. I know we talked about it enough. But
No, go ahead.
We're dropping a weekend cleanse, and this product because there's so much stuff that gets stuck up there, and so when you have fiber, that thing's already swollen in your system. Anything can just make it very difficult to go. You will eliminate all that and everything else that comes with it.
Oh, excellent!
Amazing.
That's great.
Well, I need that for my workouts. That's for sure.
Well, at least you got.
Do it. Make sure you do it well before your workout. And you go to the lesson before your workout.
Well,
ab crunch will be powerful.
I was texting Dave actually on the way to my workout. I was on the subway and I was like, I feel so constipated. I hope I don't shit myself on the subway or in this class. And he's texting me back. He's like, please don't. And I was like, oh, this is the worst. And yeah, and I even went to the bathroom after the exercise class, the bathroom at the studio, and just sat there like, please just come out of me. And it wouldn't. And God bless Pure for Men fixed me up for the next day.
All right.
I mean, you got your sexy back, right?
I did. My abs are tight again.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
Lawrence, do you want to complain about anything? It doesn't have to be poop related. You can complain about whatever you want.
Yes, I will complain real quick, and I'm gonna keep it on theme. I hate restrooms that have like those stalls where you sit on the toilet, but people can see your legs. Because number one, you can see the tennis shoes or whatever you're wearing, and that's just, I don't like that situation. But ever since I went to one of those upscale little clubs that has like every restroom gets its own little mini room, and you can do whatever you want in there. You can let it air out. You can just be on your phone. That's what the world needs to get to. And until then, I don't think justice has been served. And I have to do something about it, because that could be the difference between getting a job before or after an interview. That could be the difference between getting a date before and after going home at a club. And nobody wants to be in that situation, and it's inhumane. So we must join forces. We must get the word out. Let's stop this bathroom discrimination. We need full stalls for everyone doing number 2 from floor to ceiling.
Yes.
Amen.
And that's it's a very American thing. Like if you go to Europe, it's not like that. Like outside, I feel like they take pooing more seriously. In America, you're not supposed to do anything but pee in a public restroom, and it's like you got to poo when you got to poo.
It's because draconian, and it's people that are just cheap as shit.
Yeah.
That don't want to pay an extra $1 to like make a thing go down to the floor. I mean, I'm with you. 100% agree with this new plan. I want to. Every bathroom should have that.
No one's talking about it. None of the political campaigns. None of them. They're talking about healthcare. They're talking about the border crisis.
Yeah.
Well, when are we going to get to the issues that really matter right now, like getting these restrooms to code?
Look, and I'm going to go one farther. We need to have that little slide in use thing like they do in airplanes. So the door is locked. Because like there's nothing worse when you go into a place you're like, I know I locked this door, and the thing comes kicking open like a...
Yes. Every lock should be a real, like, it's locked.
Yes.
Or vacant or unvacant. Yes.
Vision 2020, a campaign for the future.
Yes. I'm into it. Well, we're going to flush those problems down the drain.
Yes, we are.
It's
so much more refreshing.
Me too, yeah.
So we have one little short segment left. It's our little news thing. Yeah, so we're gonna get to that right now. So this was on BBC, I believe. Yes, it's a BBC article that Kenya's Homa Bay. I know it sounds interesting. HOMA Bay. Fart pushes speaker to suspend debate. What? Yes. There was a heated debate going on about market stalls. It was disrupted by a foul smell and a furious finger pointing at a Kenyan regional assembly on Wednesday. This is like last Wednesday. Local reports say, Honorable Speaker, quote, Honorable Speaker, one of us has polluted the air, and I know who it is. This was Julius Gaia reported to Homa Bay County Assembly. So this guy just basically farted in the middle of like this debate.
A political debate
about market stalls. And they basically had to like suspend talks because it was just so foul.
Oh my God. So it wasn't just the sound. It was.
And then someone actually pointed out who it was. And the member that was sort of like the one who everybody assumed it was had quoted by saying, "I'm not the one. I cannot do such a thing in front of my colleagues." Oh my God! It's just so funny that this is this is on the BBC's website. Like this was an actual thing, and I just love that they use the word fart on a headline for a major news outlet.
Brilliant.
That's like, we cannot continue sitting in an environment that smells bad. So yeah, they basically had to wait till the smell subsided before they can continue on the debate.
Oh my God! What did that person eat?
I don't know, but something maybe from that market stall they were debating about.
Yeah.
I don't know. But whatever they ate was bad. But I love it. I just love any kind of fart or poop story that happens in the world, and keep sending them to us, people. We love it.
I mean, where was that microphone? I mean, it must have been a small room.
Many questions.
There was nothing on the site about the actual the specific area it was in, but I mean, still, the fact, I mean, there's definitely more than 2 people in that room, so I mean, I can imagine that must have been just awful.
Well, it reminds us of one of our first news stories with Fartgate, where there was a darts competition and they were throwing darts and somebody farted and interrupted the dart throwing, and the 2 competitors got mad at each other, and it ended up being a security guard that did the fart.
Yeah. It ruined the whole match.
It ruined the dart match.
It was so great.
so funny.
But the fact that, like, with all this going on in the world, farts can get on a major news site.
Yeah.
But with that, thank you so much, Lawrence.
Yeah,
for,
thank you so
being
much.
a part of our show. Thank you again for the care package. It was so generous.
And to everybody listening out there, if you want to get yourself some Pure for Men or Pure for Her, we have a promo code at Hey Poopy 20. So it's HEYPOOPY number 220 for 20% off at pureformen.com.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. This has been the conversation of the week.
Yay!
Aw.
So glad to have joined y'all. But let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, completely. I like that. There's another slogan right there. Keep it moving.
Keep it moving, because constipation is our enemy.
Yes, we don't want to be backed up. We want those smooth number 4s.
Yes.
yes, sir. And Dave, those days will come back to you.
Oh yeah, no, they will. They will. I just got to get back in my little regimen. That's all. So again, but thank you so much. You've been so generous, and thanks for inventing a really cool product.
Yeah, that we completely approve.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Star rating. And then hopefully we'll get to meet you, or at least see someone from your team at ButtCon.
Yes.
Yes. We will cross paths. I guarantee that as well.
Excellent. All right then. Have a great day, and thanks again.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Take care.
Hi, Ellen and David. This is correspondent Chris Harder, the adult entertainer that you can take home to mom and dad. And I'm also a big fan of putting really big things right up my butt. Pure for Men leaves me feeling fresh and ready, whether it's entertaining an audience full of daddies or just taking turns sitting in their laps. Thanks, Pure.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for listening to Shooting the Shit with Dave and Ellen. You can listen to us on platforms like iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, and even YouTube. Please download, rate, review, and subscribe to any and all of those places, and tell all your friends about us.
For more about Shooting the Shit with Dave and Ellen, you can check us out at heypoopypodcast.com. For questions, product reviews, information, please email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com. And you can see us on Instagram at heypoopypodcast.
Theme song by Jordan Pearlson. Hey Poopy.
Oh, that was gross.
Very wet.
Oh my God. Okay.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy,